Peace, everybody. This is Butta Beats from Nomadic Massive, welcoming you to Autres Langues. As we make our way towards Nomadic Massive's 20th anniversary, we thought it was important to highlight some of the individuals and communities that helped shape and inform hip-hop culture and continue to inspire us to this day. I'm here with my co-host, Ali Sepu, a.k.a. Ali Veda. You're now part of the Universal Superfam. Let's go!
Hold on. Pardon me, sir, did you say something? Ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. What the hell are you talking about? Hold on. Pero si ya hemos empezado.
1212, this is Butta Beats representing Nomadic Massive. We're here for another episode of Autres Langues, representing our 20-year anniversary. We're pushing 20, baby, right? Nomadic Massive in Montreal. We want to highlight some of the community members that have made an impact on us, but also continue to make an impact on the ever-growing scene here in MTL and worldwide. To my right, I got my co-host, the man with the shades. Speak for the people.
Ali Sepu, you know what time it is. Ooh. So happy to celebrate the 20th and happy to be here with these wonderfully looking guests. Look at this freshness. You know, I'm super excited to.
Says the man in the black shirt.
Yes, indeed.
I hear you.
Count on it.
Count on it. To our right, we have Amru Weeks representing CJLO, the Limelight show. Speak to the people. Tell me
What's up, everybody? Amru Weeks, a.k.a. Lady Oracle, representing the Limelight for the past 20 years. Shout out to my partner in crime, DJ J Nice.
No doubt.
Forever.
No doubt, forever. You guys in 20 years. It's a 20-year haul. They beat us by 1 year, these guys. And then, of course...
Yeah, DJ Static from Wefunk Radio and Nomadic Massive family, just passing through Montreal, so... Reconnect.
Yeah, man.
It must happen. Back.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, you know, not like we've ever had this conversation before. Not like we ever practiced this. Nah. We want to talk a little bit about just like your, you know, informally, like your background, you know, where you came from. You know, we like to talk about the intersection of like language, culture, hip hop. So tell us like how, you know, how you got into hip hop and where you came up from.
It was college radio, which was a big inspiration, and tapes that friends passed me. I moved here from Hong Kong, first to Vancouver, back in '88, and it was tapes like Public Enemy, Kane, Ice-T, Boogie Down Productions,
Special Ed,
yeah, that yeah. We only had like 3 kids in that class, so like I didn't catch everything. I didn't even speak English.
Right. Okay. This is important.
So how do these tapes come to you?
It's kids. The other guys. It was like a small school. Right. The other guys passed me some tapes, and I started mouthing the lyrics. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
So you're saying that you learned English?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Actually.
So you were basically like from the Bronx at like 11 years old.
Yeah, and with some West Coast in there, like Ice Cube, some Guns N' Roses and Def Leppard too.
Yeah, the whole 80s bag. The 80s bag. I hear you. That's a great story.
So what was it like growing up there, like in this new environment, Canadian environment, when you got there?
Oh man, it was rough. It was just a big shift. It's a big shift for me, but music, like both in Montreal and Vancouver, always gave me kind of home, like connected me with like-minded people like yourselves. So, it's definitely, it's and traveling too. Like we were just saying before we rolled the tape, it's like a calling card. Like where you're connected with people around the world already, whether you know it or not. Like just a connection with the music and what you do in the culture and like your perspective. So it's been good for me, basically.
So hip hop raised you.
That's kind of cliche, but yeah.
I know it's terrible, but I feel the same way about it in a lot of ways, you know? Amru?
So I grew
Texas
up...
represent?
That's it. Well,
not
like
the Texas you think of.
There you go. Or as we called it back in my day, Ville Lassalle.
Ville Lassalle.
So yeah, or even born in LaSalle General. Ooh, that's where it started, authentic. You know? Yeah. There you go. That's
you can smell the water.
Yes. So yeah, I was born and raised there, and to Caribbean parents. My mother is from Montreal, and my father's from St. Vincent.
Okay.
So you had that whole Caribbean culture, reggae, calypso music playing. But as my dad came here at a young age, he was like, into the disco music.
Right.
And then for me, the introduction to hip hop was the origin. I mean, not to give away my age, but I was only 3 years old, and I was hearing records from like Sugar Hill label. So it just started from there, and like the Fat Boys, and whatever my dad would like bring in, it was cool. So that's it. It was like all the DJs.
That's cool.
That was my origin
So
to hip-hop.
both of you, by chance, by circumstance, had people like feeding you music in one way or the other, right? You had your three homies.
Yeah.
Did it grow into a larger community after that? Did you start connecting with people based on around music? Like
for sure.
I mean, for both of you guys are both DJs. You both have toured heavily. You both are active in the club scene as well. So, how did it go from getting tapes to like rocking shows?
Man, like the other main influence is college radio.
Actually,
for me, because like back in the late '80s, early '90s, hip hop was not accessible. There's no YouTube. Like only those in the know. Like it's this very small scene, especially in Vancouver. Like maybe it was bigger by then in Montreal. So we would go to jams. There's a couple of DJs, but one show, Crispy Biscuit with DJ Kilo C, he basically raised the whole scene with two MCs on the mic. One was like a guy from New York, so that was a really important show out on the West Coast for like younger.
This dude came from New York and planted the flag.
And Kilo C had like records sent out every week. Like he had all the underground stuff like that no one else had at the time. So it just raised a whole generation of DJs. Like we still talk about it. It's kind of like Papito and Stretch. Like we would stay up Tuesday night, a 2-hour tape the Biscuit, and just nerd out over it, see what they play that week and how he cut it up and doubles and all that. And then you couldn't access that anywhere else at that time. Yeah. So that was the most formative show. So when I started university, it's like I got to do a radio show, like because that's what cool people did. So we applied to do Wefunk as first year students and have been.
Okay, well, we'll get to the big.
You want to give him a break on that because I want a Montreal connection.
Well, I don't want to get into just in the beginning of Wefunk just yet because it's an important part of all of our history as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And for you, Amru, like where did it start? Like where did you gravitate? How did you gravitate towards DJing?
So same thing. It was underground radio, but again, growing up with my dad, like playing all those vinyls. Like I always had an interest in like putting songs together. So I was
curating playlists. As they say now, playlists.
Curating, but they were the tapes. So you go from vinyl to recording on a cassette. So I tell my dad, put that there. Okay, put that on there next, and then he would make tapes for me. So it just started from there, and obviously now I'm starting to go out when I get older, and I'm seeing DJs like DJ Majest and like even DJ Blaster.
Yeah,
I got
Blaster.
all J Buns.
It's my neighbor.
Oh yeah.
What up, Blaster?
J Buns. So yeah, just like seeing DJs on the club scene, and then you just want to get involved. But I just went to CJLO, got a show with my partner Jay Nice, started learning from him how to DJ, and that's
So you were just like more or less handling the boards and stuff like that first.
Initially,
Gotcha.
yeah, but then
that's
finally,
I always thought that you were like you just came in and was like.
Well, I learned. That's it. So luckily, Jay Nice showed me how to work the turntables, and that was it. Yeah, I got my own pair and started practicing, and just like I guess getting from there to the clubs was just making connections with people, with artists in the community who started inviting me to their shows and stuff, and then you just end up making connections, and that's how it took off.
This is at what time? So this is like Limelight. If it's 20 years back, that's 2003.
Yeah.
So you were already working on the scene a little bit. Like, were you doing anything musically of that, or was it just like you're biding your time. You're just building those mixtapes
just building those tapes. Exactly. Like, I think I just wanted to like expose that music, especially at the time I was listening to a lot of underground artists, or like, the Backpackers, the Roots, Common, Most Def. And I noticed when I listened to the radio, it's like, I'm not hearing these guys on the radio, or I was watching a lot of BET back in the day, and same thing, I was seeing enough of their videos. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get a show and I'm going to play this music.
Dope.
But I always had a curiosity for DJing and I always wanted to learn. So I took the opportunity there, and my partner, and that's why I invited Mom, because he was a DJ. So
right,
yeah.
And you need to teach me.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It just it's just a natural evolution.
Okay.
There was a lot of that going on in the early 2000s in Montreal. I remember the DJ culture, the battling culture, DJ battling
Yes.
culture.
Turntablism.
Was a Tokyo bar or something? There was it was a regular thing.
Yes.
Yeah, most of the club DJs in that era scratched,
Yes.
Yeah, that was
which
the
is something
credibility.
that it was part of the credibility. You had to be able to do a little routine within the club.
Yes.
You had your top 40 whatever at certain sections, but then every once in a while, most of the guys that loved underground hip hop but worked top 40 would throw in the more hip hop aesthetic, right? Like they juggle I don't know, they juggle Ja Rule,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Static, when you come to Montreal, what is this? Is that the first year university?
Yeah, I moved here in 95 and 96. We submitted a proposal and we got accepted. We started the show in a really crappy time slot. It was Thursday 4 to 7 in the morning or something, right before class. But we just did it. We didn't give a damn. It's something fun.
That's the youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? I love this.
Yeah.
4 in the morning.
So it's I guess we paid our dues, and then eventually, a few years down, we got a better slot, Friday midnight.
That's what year? That's 95?
So 96?
When we got the current slot, I don't know. I just know we started 96. In a year or two, we got the midnight.
Yeah, that's about the time.
Because by the time that I met you,
Right.
it was already Fridays.
Okay.
So that's 99.
It was pretty quick then, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't wake up
98,
that
99,
for too many years.
What was this Montreal scene like at that time? Would you say late 90s?
Oh man, I was I just remember it's pretty. I still remember. There was a very interesting night at Voltaire on Prince Arthur. It was a mix of activists and DJs. We had what Kid Koala's first group, Sky Juice.
Sky Juice, yeah.
Play there. There's Dexter, the activist, Food Not Bombs.
All right.
Mossman, the reggae DJ, and Cut and Choice, and it was
Voltaire, that bar?
It was a real mix of people. That's what it is. It was interesting because it wasn't straight hip hop. It was just it was an interesting introduction to the many kind of sub scenes that existed in Montreal.
Yeah, there was crossover, right?
Yeah, crossover, yeah.
And it's interesting because you are actually a big part of our crossover into that as well.
Right.
Right, from you being part of our group right from the offset.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of our first shows, you were the one who got us our first shows. And a lot of them were the activist shows. We
The
did those-
fundraisers, at Sala
fundraisers,
Rosa and
Sala
stuff.
Rosa. And
Yeah,
I
play
remember
with
that
community.
We did one in St. Henry on Notre Dame in some lofts.
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
Then you had the 62 Rachel East. That was a little bit later.
Yes.
And shout out to your loft too on St. Laurent.
Man, that place is legendary. Yeah,
Right?
Can't
Legendary.
believe no one died. Well, people on all kinds of stuff. There's access to the roof.
No, there was a lot of freedom to roam buildings at that time.
Yes.
Yeah. And it wasn't you were loud, but no one's gonna stop you. Yeah, I have those memories.
Yeah. But when Friday, when your Friday slot came in, Wefunk kind of became an established thing. And I'll paraphrase because from my perspective, I'm a transplant from I'm not born and raised in Montreal. And I came in 99 to study, and I was listening to your show and I didn't know you were. And by chance, I met you just because of my neighbor, Elizabeth Shepard, who's now a very revered jazz pianist.
Yes.
Right? She's my direct neighbor. We shared a balcony. So we would strike up chats or whatever. And we got along splendidly. And then her boyfriend came at the time was MC Abdominal.
Yes.
Who I also know. I was oh shit. So then we started chatting. He invites me to a house party. This is within the first, I'd say like 3 months that I'm in Montreal. So I'm like, oh, I love this place already, right? A house party. And there's I walk in and you were playing, I think you were playing I Got You Open by Black Man. I want to swear that it is, but it's definitely like beat minor, dusty, you know, and I was like, yes. And I turned the corner and I just made a beeline for you and we started talking, whatever. And then you're like, yeah, come to the radio, right? Because I would beatbox with abdominal or whatever. And so then he was like, oh, yeah, you da.
Yeah, there was something going on at that time, I think, like the amount of things going on in one night, going from venue to venue.
Yeah.
Do you have memories of the Montreal like scene at the time?
Yeah, some memories. I'm remembering just a lot of the shows, like performers. Yeah, like Nomadic Massive.
Yeah.
You know, I remember seeing them.
You mean us?
They're all right.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you. I just. Yes, the whole collective. The whole collective.
These guys are here.
I was gonna say Butta Beats, but Butta Babies.
Yeah, Butta Babies.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Dope
it.
group.
I
Shout
remember
out,
the
yeah.
shows.
Butta
the
Babies.
shows.
There was like
that.
Northern Lights and
That's it.
what was the other name?
And so many venues, I think.
Yeah,
What,
that's
like-
it. So, and also like the club scene, you know, like I said, when I mentioned like, you know, going to parties like DJ Majes, like Ricky D and Shaheed, those events and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, dark skin, I never had it easy. I cultivate this heart of alchemy, transform a blockage into this new stage. Grow sage, apply wisdom and overstanding. Lather me with lotion to remove all these calluses. Gossip is making me creatively rich. I've earned a few stitches, perfecting my speech. I'm making sure my music reaches more than my crew. We lost a few along the way, the story goes on, the camera's on. Get in the zone, I'm working hard, I'm on my own, it's time to own. Not only a catalog of new songs, we can't forget. Unresolved trauma brings more stress, artery build up, where to release. Let your soul be the guide. On this physical plane, we want this fly life. Food, clothes and shelter, and care for our daughters. Keep believing yourself, invest in yourself. I'm pushing myself, I'm taking what's mine. I've grown beyond patient, y'all. They ain't sharing, so I'm creating new doors and making moves behind the curtain. We know the pain, memory lane. I meditate to keep my mind sane, avoid the cloud of rain. We hold the strength to reclaim our names, days and night at the radio, pushing mixtapes and shouts to Nuit Blanche and CKUT for keeping me up until this day. Making music from the soul is what's needed. If your rap lacks substance, for sure you'll get deleted, y'all.
Going back to the future, if you will, like currently now. I mean, I'll start with you, Static. I know that you've been going back. You know, you started going back to Hong Kong quite a bit, right? Got married and all that stuff. Keep that on the side, but sorry, ladies. How did that? Did you notice a big change? Was there a big cultural shift for you there, like in terms of you going back, being who you are now, going back and did you see a lot of hip hop going there? Like,
there's hip hop going on. Like, I would just go to the parks and there's girls like doing choreo and like there's like different stages, different neighborhoods, right?
Vastly different than maybe what you grew up, the Hong Kong that you grew up in, right?
Yeah. So it's definitely like hip hop has spread. It's interesting because it's I'm super low key there. It's not like people are aware of I meet too many people who listen to Wefunk and all that, and I kind of equate it to like a lot of my Asian friends are like, you can't teach English in Asia because you don't look the part. Because I'm one of them, right? So I'm like, I can blend in. It's interesting. I'm just checking things out, like on the low, seeing what's happening. Yeah, I don't play out there too much.
Because in Vancouver, obviously, people are just at your door taking photos, right?
No. I'm not saying that, but it's cool to go back.
No, but that's an interesting thing when you go back and you just kind of like, you become integrated.
Yeah, in the flow,
Well, you know, because Wefunk is like ubiquitous. For me, you know, as well, something that I always admired was the relationship you and Groove had, and the spirit of. I mean, my favorite part of the show always, like when I first started listening to it, was him playing like some sort of funk, some rare funk groove or whatever, and then you merging into your set and blending it, but then taking the sample, right, and then and doing all that like archival research and stuff. Like you guys are really like planted. Like a musicology, so you could study Wefunk in terms of playlists, in terms of sociology. Because I teach an aesthetics and music class, and I use Wefunk as a reference. Like I show people, like my students, that just based on that legacy of music. Do you know the impact of Wefunk internationally? Are you?
Yeah, no, we're well aware of it as soon as like the internet happened. Like because we started out as just
number one
a college, well that's just a fluke. We started as just
the accolades,
a college radio show in Montreal, FM only, terrestrial. Like we did it because we love sharing music. Like when we start, like suddenly we started streaming thanks to Nick, Professor Groove, and early. And then we started getting feedback like from Japan, from Brazil, and we're like, well, what is this? That's the early days of internet. We didn't know like people that far away could even be reached, like other than flying out and talking to people. It was mind blowing. And then, like South Africa, Russia, and we started getting offers to go to different places, which we did for like had a good like 10, 15-year run of doing that. So we definitely feel it. The love is amazing. It's incredible.
And that was unintended in a way?
It wasn't. Yeah, we never thought we would like be this big.
Because they were like number one on iTunes Radio when iTunes Radio first came out.
We were just top listed because Nick put brackets around our name.
Nice.
Alphabetically sorted, we're at the top.
Oh, sick. Wow. Okay.
It was fluke.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of flukes. Genius. And being early, I think.
Yeah.
Streaming.
Yeah.
Because a huge worldwide reach. And let's go to Amru. CJLO, the rival station. Firmly planted, in the heart of NDG.
Yes.
Did you feel like when you started, like how were you embraced in terms of the community? And did it take a long time to like do it? Was it like a labor of love for a long time? Or, I mean, it still might be, I don't know, but...
it has its ups and downs, but I would say in the beginning, of course, it was definitely a labor of love. What really stood out is because we wanted to play local artists, Canadian artists, and I found like that was the struggle, was to get music from the local artist. But eventually, I guess as CJLO started to get bigger, and I was getting music from other artists easily, then they just started coming to us. So that was the part that started to build up. And I think that started happening more like in 2007, 2008. And now it's just like, I feel like we've become a staple, with the local music scene.
You are, yeah.
Yeah, here in Montreal. So now we don't even have to seek them out. They'll find us, which I think is really great. And it's just that whole collaboration that I have with all the artists here.
Yeah, it was like you guys and Off the Hook.
Yes.
For like the call-ins and for really like a lot of local features, but also Wefunk as well. Like for me, I mean, that's the first time I ever rapped publicly was on Wefunk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
18-year-old. It's there in the archives somewhere.
Yeah.
1999. Look for it. You can hear a young Butter trying to spit.
So what was the intention? Like if for both of you guys it kind of got bigger than you thought, what was originally the intention of like embarking on that type of thing?
For me, it was just exposing lesser known artists, that I enjoyed. That was the point of the show. And, just to bring my new learned DJing skills at the time.
Right.
Yeah, that was the point originally. So.
And being also, I think one of the few, if not, maybe it's like maybe 5. I don't know. To be honest, I can't even name more than maybe 3, but like female hip hop DJs in Montreal. Even like, when I travel a lot, it's a rare thing. I know it's very heavy in the electronic scene, but you've really kind of like made a move for I know you love hip hop, so obviously it's a thing. But how was that experience like coming up? Was there any friction, or were you just like, Was it a rocky road or was it an easy ride? Was there a lot of support from the community?
A lot of support from the community, a lot of love. Yes, I was always hearing, oh, it's so rare to see a female DJ. So that was really easy, especially like when it came to like, hip hop events, you know, or shows where I was playing, like opening up for artists and stuff like that was easy for me. So I have to admit, I experienced more challenges when I was working in the club scene, working as a DJ full time. Then that's where you saw, some sexism, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that was, but I guess that's just a different arena altogether, the club scene. But anything like with the community, beautiful, support all the way.
Dope.
Yeah.
Speaking of community, let's talk about the dance community for a little bit.
Okay.
Right? There's a big connection I know that you have with the dance community. You always did have here. Also, you've also played at the Cypher as well. So there's been a lot of you guys have made a big impact and been kind of like the backdrop for a lot of like great events. Any kind of like origin story? Did it just kind of fall on your lap? Like
like a lot of things. Like
B-boys
like
were like, hey,
Wefunk.
I love you, and then like Wefunk, and then boom.
No, it all started with like we got connected with the scene like in a serious way back around 2000 when Camellia. I still remember like yesterday.
Shout out to Camellia.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Nest.
Shout out
Our
to
first show.
Solid State.
Our first show,
Word.
was
Right,
at the
right,
Nest.
right.
She
Yeah.
was the one who put us on it, which
Yeah.
was just right behind your
Yeah,
loft.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely I remember. Like the I
Shout
think
out to Pam.
students. Yeah, Pam, Dana.
Helen.
The whole crew.
Yeah.
Solid
It's
State.
really the
Juju
B
crew.
girls.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the B girls that really put us on. Actually,
Yeah.
if you think about it. Shout out to B girls.
Anyways, Rock Deep Tuesdays.
Yes.
That's my night at Saphir with them and everyone from the scene started coming because they had that dance connection.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night,
didn't know,
all in Saint Laurent.
You missed a great time.
Like in my mind, it's a legendary night because it wasn't packed. Like there was a really slow weeks and stuff, but the vibe was amazing.
Yeah.
It was
Always dancing.
From
What I remember,
You know,
I
they
went.
put a skate park in that bar.
They did? Yeah,
the
that's
trash-
much
it's called the
later.
trash
Yeah.
bar now or something
Oh
like
yeah, I
that.
DJ'd there.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
It's dope.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
it's
that-
not
But I
Sapphire.
understand. Yeah, if it was that and it became that, then I can understand.
Because it was, I don't know. I thought it was always such a special. I went there religiously. I was there every Tuesday. I don't think I missed one, to be honest.
And then I found out like later on, like a lot of like just like world class dancers now, like Nadine, who just won Summer Dance whacking. Her and Monster Pop used to come here underage.
Yeah.
They were telling me like when a few years after, it's like because all the older dancers were there. It's like original Flow Rock, the rubber band dance troupe.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Like
Yeah,
it was like more modern, contemporary. It was because I hadn't been exposed to dance much, but through that I got connected with people like Spicy. Started doing a Bust a Move, which is like a legendary series that ran in Montreal, and I moved to Vancouver. I was invited to join Vancouver Street Dance Festival. I played and organized that for a few years. It's always been kind of passion of mine. People like general public's like, oh, Vancouver Street Dance Festival? You dance? I'm like, no, not really. I DJ and organize, sorry.
I'm still connected.
I'm a little stiff.
Yeah.
I got a mean robot.
Yeah, man.
So that's the
Beautiful.
story.
And how about you, Amru? Future stakes? Another 20 years at Limelight?
We'll see about that.
Right?
Yeah, we'll see about
But
that.
I mean, you were doing, me and you both participated in the Cypher quite a lot. I saw
Yes,
you almost,
exactly.
every other week.
Yeah.
How was that experience like?
Oh, it's-
More connected to the culture, less like club culture and more.
Yeah. Exactly.
You
That was
know?
kind of like my solace during my club days. So no, it's amazing. Like just to be part of that, just to experience the Cypher, to play the music and see the dancers and even just how that all happened when I connected with Vince. It's just I could always bring everything back to CJLO and even Community. That's where I originally met Vince, and then we connected that way, and he came on the show, and then we ended up there.
That's right, because you used to DJ at Community.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. That's it. So
When you were Was it, but not at Sablo Cafe, but at when they were at campus. I know.
Consulat?
Yes.
The Consulat?
And
There was a place they were at on Blurry.
Consulat.
That's Consulat.
Oh, that's
it.
Consulat. Okay, yeah,
It's kind of
that's the first
ritzy
one.
on the third floor or
Yeah,
something.
the drinks
Yes.
were a little overpriced, but everybody was like, "We're here for the
Yeah,
It's come
love."
up in many of the interviews, the price of these drinks.
Seriously.
They're probably like super cheap by today's standard.
So yeah, that's the first time I DJed for Community. That's right. It was at the Consulat. Yeah.
So you've always been connected to like the live music scene in one way or
Yes.
other form.
Exactly. That's it. So even now, I'll be DJing at the Jack of All Trades Cypher again on Sunday.
Dope.
So, and that connection happened again through CJLO. So Reharmonator,
Yeah.
that's my cousin.
Yes.
He told me about an artist named Jeanette King. I don't know if the name sounds familiar to you guys. Yes. Yeah, she's actually from Vancouver, so she comes back and forth. So she came on the show, and then like we'd see each other around, and then her friend Rupert Common, who's also like a b-boy dancer here and a musician, an artist, she gave him my name, and then ever since then I would participate in those like dance events with him as well, and like ciphers, and yeah, so it's just so cool how you just connect with the community, and then it's like they refer you to another person, you meet another person, you end up at these events, and yeah.
There was a lot of interconnectivity.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I
that
just
time.
love about all
Yeah.
of this.
Do you do any like? Do you reference any of your like cultural baggage, for example? You talked at the beginning when your pops, he had you this calypso playing in the house or soca or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is that a part of your palette as far as a DJ, or do you just like, I'm a hip hop, like this is all?
Oh no, I play everything. Yeah, it's funny though. Funny enough, originally I wouldn't touch soca because I'm like, oh no, that's just too much to collect, and But now it's like, yeah, I feel myself coming back to that.
back
So you're open.
Yeah, so I'm starting to build up my soca collection, and it feels good. Like it just feels like you're coming back to yourself in that way.
That's funny, eh? Like identity and like just
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
Static, you said you had fans in Brazil, and you were called to go. Did you go to Brazil?
No. Yeah, we've never had a successful like booking yet.
we're working on it right now.
They're working on
As
the Brazil,
people,
right?
people have reached out though. That's it. Yeah, it's
And but have you traveled for music?
yeah, mostly to Europe. Europe, stateside, the most amazing ones I remember are weddings. Just fans that really wanted us. They're like, you're part of my life. You're like family. Because they've listened to our voices for like 20 years. I'm like, I don't really know you like that.
I guess we
But,
can.
and then just with open arms, it's amazing. Like, and then we keep in touch and just
This is like many weddings, or can you speak to one in
about
particular?
10.
10 weddings.
We've done in our careers from mostly stateside. Yeah.
Interesting. For you guys, as far as like DJing, like how do you see the future of DJing in terms of its role? I mean, I think there's a lot of things that are changing. Like I often think about usually in the cultural terms that people talk about rappers and MC because that's like the spotlight, and DJs, although they've been cast aside. When I grew up, there was always the DJ and the rapper, right? Like. What do you see? Do you see the role of the DJ changing or manifesting into something else? Like,
I feel like it's a hybrid now, like DJ producer. So I don't know if it'll continue in that vein, but
like the Pete Rocks and the premieres they were rare too, like Large Pro premiere, and I can only think of like 3 or 4.
No, that makes sense because since the vinyl days, like music's more accessible. Like every DJ can have the same track, right? That's why
Yes.
you got to set yourself apart.
Yes.
Having your own remix in a way. So yeah, I can see that. I see the gears changing a lot. Like I can hardly go to a club with turntables nowadays.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, it's just
You gotta get your numerous.
like the Serato. Remember the Serato boxes?
yeah.
Discontinued.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I'm just like, wait, what? Grandfathered? Like, I can't believe we're there already.
$3,000.
Yeah.
No, that's it. And eventually that'll be our controllers. I'm sure there's already controllers that are,
Things move so
discontinued.
fast.
Yeah.
Like I want to invest in something newer, but I'm like, that's gonna be
gonna be the next thing.
out of date, like in 2 years.
Yeah,
like,
that's even the 1200s. I'm like, wait, what? When did this
God.
happen?
Yeah.
They remain forever though, very
And
expensive,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Still like a G each.
Yeah, that's it. People are dying to get their hands on mine.
Bring it down.
But my dad told me to keep it in the family. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of older DJs, I try not to come from the perspective of a young person. Like you're coming out of high school, you can get $200 controller, you can rock it, you can kill it. Like I would too. Like
you can pre-record, media effects and stuff like that.
So it's about what each generation has access to and making the most of it, I think. So it's interesting in a way. It's cracked it wide open in terms of accessibility. It's the barrier of entry is lower. Like more people can get into it. So in a way, it's a good thing, I think.
More access.
Yeah.
I know something just came to me because we're hearing about it so much more. Now I'm just wondering if like AI
Right.
could be incorporated into DJing or something somehow.
You don't think an AI could mix two records together? I'm pretty sure.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, is that what's going to be for the...
and
Right? Yeah.
You know, like EQs and like, algorithms.
Spotify is pretty on point in suggestions to me. Like I have a very particular taste, like very underground, and every week it delivers gems.
Yeah.
Hey, I won't lie.
For me, it's my YouTube. My YouTube algorithm is like on point because I dig so much for just like older joints that you can't find on Spotify. But it's like gem after gem. Yeah. So I'm not scared of it. I look forward to seeing what it was, but I've always wondered like, will there be a time where like, where you would go to house parties and there wasn't a DJ, but there was somebody that like curated the play. Like, like I'm saying, like we used to have friends that would bring tapes and we would listen. And that's what we would rock out to in the basement or whatever.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get back to that? Like, will we get back to that where that person in the crowd is gone, or
hopefully not?
Do you have a nostalgic memory of the way it was? Like, is there something that you're like, man, I remember the days when?
Not so much. I try to move forward. Like it's done. Like it made me who I am, and I just try to carry that forward.
He also has ice cubes running through his veins, so cold as ice.
I miss all the elements of hip hop coming together. Like the graphers, the dancers, the DJs, the rappers, like kind of moving in a pack and going to see each other's things.
Well, they're all hybrid. Hip hop is is global. It's a popular culture. Kids that are growing up now, they don't know hip hop as like a subcultural movement, right? I remember, when we were growing up, probably, you guys can probably relate to this too. It was like, if you were in the schoolyard, you'd have like the separate groups of it was and now it's all kind of like hybrid, as you said.
Yeah, exactly. I still feel like people are keeping the movement alive, though. To keep all of that together. Like, just look at the Jack of All Trades festival happening right now. That's exactly what it is. It's like art. Yeah,
there's like
dance,
a redefinition of
cypher
through AI and playlists and like hyper curation. Subcultural interests are like very specific, like nuanced interests are coming up into play. I think.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm looking forward to. One last thing, community radio, right? The value and your future involvement in it.
Man, I think I'm in too deep to start. Like we're just gonna keep going until we can't. The feedback's still good. Like as long as people are riding with us, we'll keep doing it. And we're not slowing down. Yeah. So Wefunk's going good. Still having fun with it. Community radio, it's a worldwide community, and we're really blessed to be a part of it. It's connected a lot of people independently outside of us. Just hearing, like just today, I got an email. Oh, someone was playing it in their store, and then someone was listen 20 minutes. We were running in the back. It's like, oh, is that Wefunk? And then, oh, that is. And then they connected over that and just talk music for a bit more. It's I love doing it. It's even though it's not like my 9 to 5 now, but I think in a way that makes it easier for me to just keep doing it because I'm free. I've never been beholden to labels. And in a bad way, I've never been beholden to artists either. I never really try to play stuff.
Yeah, I remember you left the group.
But no. It's like I really got to feel something. Like it's hard though, right? Yeah. If you're from a city and you have a lot of friends and they all put out tracks, like I know that feeling, and I always really
like, oh,
try
this
to
shit is
just
fine.
play what I really love.
That's
Right.
dope.
Yeah.
So I skip on a lot of like friends' tracks, kind of thing.
I hear you.
But once in a while I find something
I
good.
remember
Right?
that last song I sent you. No,
Brutal honesty here
Brutal
today,
honesty.
friends.
You,
Yeah.
Emu?
Yeah, I think community radio will always be valued. You know, just even for CJLO, like the cult MTL, best of MTL, you know, like we still place on the top 5, you know, and yeah, you could be like, yeah, tell your friends to vote, but that those votes aren't just coming from your friends,
Yeah.
you know, so I can still see the value in that. It's valuable to artists. You know, it's still like if you're a new artist, they're always seeking like underground radio, community radio to get their music out, you know, at least in the early days. So yeah, I think there'll always be a need, and yeah, we're just gonna keep going.
So we can listen to CKUT 90.3 FM. CJLO, what's that number again?
1690 AM.
Yeah, AM. So
We're
the
also
AM.
online. We got an app, so you
Yeah,
know.
So check out the app, download the app, and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's it for us in terms of thanks you for so much for sharing your stories.
Thanks for having us.
No doubt.
Yeah,
no
thank you.
doubt.
Yeah, it's been great.
No doubt.
Yeah, nice to see you guys.
Autres Langues. Autres Langues.